So chronic kidney disease is a state where you start to lose the functioning of your kidneys. Most people after the age of 40 will start a gradual decline in loss of kidney function. So it's a natural part of aging. Certain people with underlying conditions like hypertension or diabetes have a more rapid loss. In the United States, probably around 20 million people suffer from chronic kidney disease.
There had been a small amount of work in the literature showing that perhaps giving highly fermentable fibers could perhaps improve clinical markers and outcomes in chronic kidney disease. And so we wrote a grant and since then have done a number of studies. Our most recent study showed that feeding prebiotic fiber will decrease blood levels of substances that are inflammatory, that actually may be, really affecting the progression of their kidney disease. Most of the carbohydrates in our diet we can digest, like starch and sugars, and they give us energy. But a prebiotic really moves through the intestine, not digested, and then goes to our large intestine and is fermented. We found improved gastrointestinal function, but we've also seen improvements in quality of life in terms of symptoms in these patients. They may have, for instance, itching, and that's one of the symptoms that we found could be decreased with a prebiotic fiber. What we're also pursuing is looking at really what happens to microbiota when individuals eat higher amounts of protein. Because in chronic kidney disease, often patients limit their protein consumption, which is not necessarily a good thing. What we find with these patients is that they actually have an increased amount of protein not being digested. And so this protein then gets into the colon and is fermented, and that's not a good thing. What we're looking at now is whether we can use prebiotic fibers to enhance fermentation in the colon and perhaps prevent the negative consequences of protein fermentation. My biggest goal would be if we could show that we could improve the clinical markers, symptoms, and wellness of chronic kidney disease patients in the community. If you think about how many individuals in the U.S. with chronic kidney disease that we would potentially have the ability to impact, I think that would be fabulous.